Welcome to another episode of the Irregular show. I am the host with the most sleepy mailboard in the building. How you guys doing? And before we get into anything, you guys know we're here to talk about Tower of God, chapter 614. We in here. Make sure you guys, like always, like, comment, and subscribe. And now let's get into it. We start off with Zahad's clone, which shout out to the comment section for informing me about the clones, or reminding me really about the 4 clones of Zahad that are actually running around. And we kind of get a little idea of what this clone has been up to. He, along with Kieran, who we see in this chapter pop up, have hatched a little bit of a plan. But before we get to that, we see Labadon attack Kieran immediately. Because, bro, why are you even here? Whose mans are you? You supposed to be holding down the family head. But no, you want to be just doing whatever you want to do, just all willy-nilly. And granted, I am not a fan of the family head, so let's not get this twisted. I am Fug through and through. But for some reason, I don't like Kieran. He doesn't give me like, oh yeah, I'm rocking with you vibes. So, excuse me, anytime that he can catch some hands, I'm here to see that. But we see him and Labadon going back and forth, and this is when Kieran reveals that the people on this ship that Zahad is standing on are the people that are planning to replace the 10 great family heads, becoming the new 10 great family heads, with him being the 10th replacing Tarmiel. Now, I don't know why they think that this is a possibility. The only one that may even have potentially the slightest bit of chance is Zahad's clone. But even then, I don't think that Zahad's clone can handle the 10 great family heads. Like, that's not going to work. So this plan is doomed from the start, but maybe they got something up their sleeve where they think they know a way around the 10 great family heads' immortality. But we shall see. Because they are here and they are ready for battle. Not in this chapter, though. We don't get to see them break out of the ship and do anything. We actually switch to the vice captain who started all of this mess. And we get to see him looking over the battlefield, seeing Kieran appear, and feeling like everything is handled there so that he can now go into the Sprout and do what he needs to do. He tries to reach out to Rachel, but she's trapped and doesn't have any answers, so he figures that it's best that he go in by himself and actually just do things himself, because depending on Rachel, at this point, it's no longer an option. He needs to find Liu. It's not going to go good for the vice captain, and I can't say that I'm mad about that because I am not a fan at all. I actually hate the vice captain. One of my least favorite characters, if we're just going to call a spade. Because, bro, you doing all of this extra stuff, thinking that you're all Machiavellian, schemed, grandiose, and it's not going to go well for you. And to put a button on that, he runs into Princess Tiara. And you know what she does? Cut his arms off immediately. She says, oh, I seen Bel Air. It's time for you to lose them arms because you gotta go. I don't rock with you. You're not on the mothership, so you are no longer in charge. You should have never come here, bro. But you did. And so now he's on the ground with her standing over him, foot on the back of his head, because you are an insignificant worm and I outrank you out here. Maybe on the mothership where the family leader has given you some authority, but not out here, not in the Sprout. You got to go. Now, explain to me a couple of things. So we get here asking him a few questions like, how did a lowly person like you become so high ranking? Which he expresses the fact that the family head wants to wipe himself out along with the other 10 great leaders. Which Tiara is like, you don't know that. You just assumed because you put 1 and 1 together and thought it made 2, but they live in their own type of world. 1 and 1 might make 87. We don't know. So I'm not here for that, and I'm not here for you. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the princess finish off Bel Air, which I would have really enjoyed because I do like the princess. Granted, she was giving Yuri fits in the fight. I think that she's pretty dope, and I think that she's eventually going to be on Bam's side. And so, with those things being considered, I think she's a powerful ally to have, and I'm all for gathering powerful allies. But someone is lurking in the back, and who is it? Well, none other than Enkidu. Well, I shouldn't necessarily say that. We don't see Enkidu, per se. We see the host that he is basically put his body into and become a parasite on. And now he is attacking the princess out of some type of weird, like, battle for control of the body. I would say that the main host is a little bit confused and feeling the effects of Enkidu basically bonding himself with him. And so now he's kind of going off and attacking the princess because, well, she was the enemy before. And so what better time to get rid of you than now? And so with that said, he releases geckos that are covered with eyes out of his mouth. But why out of his mouth? I don't know why out of his mouth. There's no real good reason why they decided that it had to be coming out of his mouth. But Tiara ain't no slouch. She cuts all the geckos up. But we see that same blue slime that we saw that Enkidu had when his body would get destroyed and just would reform, kind of come out of the geckos and out of the host. She has pierced his whole body, even to the point that she cuts Boy's head off. Cuts Boy by the head, the midsection, slices him to pieces. But all he does is reform, which then allows him to release some type of gooey substance that traps our beautiful princess. This is crazy. And you know what? The craziest thing happens. A giant gecko puts her in his mouth. I'm not going to say he's eating her because I don't believe that that's going to happen. Will he probably swallow her? Maybe. But that's not eating something. He's not going to chew her up because we already get the flesh is tough, this woman. And so you're going to swallow Tiara and she's going to destroy you from the inside. That's cool. But the fact that you put your whole mouth on her is crazy, bro. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for slimy reptiles and beautiful ladies. That's just not my vibe. I don't know about you guys out there, but it's just not my vibe. But other than that, that is the end of the chapter. So last thing that I do want to get into before I go, and that is saying rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. He is the creator of Dragon Ball. He was the forefather of Shonen, tournament arcs, battle Shonen. Just when you think about anime, if you're a certain age, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, GT, that is one of the first things that pops up. And so I want to say my rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. You definitely were influential to my life, and I know a lot of my friends' lives, so I didn't want to get out of this without saying anything about that. But I'm out of here, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. Later.